Hello, everyone. It is 4:34 a.m. I've been up for about maybe 2 hours now, and I'm so sorry for anyone that is affected by what's going on now. So I said, you know what? Let me use my platform to speak. I have seen, read. It is horrible what's going on right now, but it is definitely something we need to talk about. And I'm going to say uh, sorry now in case some flippant words come out of my mouth, but I actually mean well, and you already know how I am. Anyway, I have recently learned that the target now for low income housing is seniors. And the reason why is because seniors are allowing adults to live with them and live off their resources, which means their social security, their EBT, whatever the case may be, over the counter card where you fund in the house with toothpaste and everything. And a lot of people didn't believe me a few years ago when I said it. They don't even want you to allow someone to take a tea pea size off their toothpaste if over the counter card purchased it. A lot of people think that I be talking sometimes just to hear myself talk, but that's not the truth. And the bittersweet truth is now there's this letter that was sent out to landlords asking them to lower the rent, and landlords are really having a hard time keeping people in low income housing that are not working. A lot of landlords have done a lot of cleaning up inside of these buildings, getting some of this out. But what I'm seeing now is that seniors are losing their homes because they're not willing to part with the abuse of adults in their home. And I know it's going to be hard to say, but I'm saying what I'm saying in love. And that's because I'm reading in different groups. I'm seeing people's videos where uh, a grandmother or whatever the case may be is allowing, this person to do this, and whatever the case may be. We have to get to a point where we say, okay, we're going to mind our business. And we have to say we're going to mind our business, and it has to be on the foundation of love, nothing else. Yesterday, I read a thing on Yahoo where a daughter, it was a daughter and it was two sisters, and one daughter walked away. She just distanced herself from the whole family because one sister was being, whatever. And at her, in her mind state, she was thinking that she was the favorite and she got tired of her getting away with everything. And I'm going to tell you, if that is your situation, that doesn't matter. Whether they're the favorite or not does not matter. What matters is what is being done, and where the abuse starts and where the abuse ends. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have access to a grandmother. I don't have access to a grandmother. So when I say grandmother, I mean everyone else. But I do know personally my grandmother would never be treated like that. My grandmother is loved in every way possible, and there is no one in her immediate that would ever abuse her in any kind of way. So that is a beautiful thing. But we have to understand that sometimes the foundation that we build to allow people to take, and take, it is horrible. And I personally know how it feels to be affected by a taker because I've had a taker in my life a number of years. And although it hurt, the reason how I'm able to mentally manage is because I accept the person or people for who they are. And the taking is not taking if I am willingly giving. There's a difference. Now, I know a few seniors that have had to move for the sake of the entire home having to be gone because they couldn't release this one or this one or this one. We can't sit down and say, well, you should know. Mind your business. Mind your business. Is if a person can pay their own bills, pay their own bills on their own, then they're able bodied enough to make decisions in their home while they are the head of household. Now, one thing that is so sad about low income housing is that the head of household is responsible for the rent no matter who's in there. Which means if you're supposed to get your 30% from Tommy, Joe, or whatever, and they don't give it to you, the housing office doesn't care. You are the head of household. You decide whether or not this person's going to stay here. So it is what it is. Yesterday, I saw a post on a frugal site where a woman doesn't know what to do because said person makes this kind of money, which is more, and she makes less, and she's frugal, and this person is not. And they are such thousands of dollars in debt because this person likes things and this person doesn't. So I'm sitting here like, wow, did you just say all of that? Absolutely. So it brings it back to me. I'm 56 years old. Yesterday I saw something on the computer that said I was a senior. I have literally gotten a senior discount, so I can speak for a senior. I am not going to reside with someone who likes things when I like to pay my bills. There is a thing called pay yourself first. Okay, pay yourself first if you want to, but if you owe a mortgage, you owe a landlord, you owe the light man, you owe you can't tell me you can do what you want to do. You can't tell me to pay myself first when I owe my landlord, when I owe my lights, because I want to see. I want my Wi-Fi on because I want to watch TV. At whatever point during the day, sometimes I don't even turn on my TV at all. But my TV is my company. So I want my TV. But we have to stop now. We have to get back to, we may know this person is doing this person is doing this. We have to mind our business. A few days ago, someone very dear to me said to me that they don't want to be involved with a situation because the person is grown and they know what they want. And I had to say, wow. And I didn't say wow when I was listening to the person say it. I said wow when I had time to lay down and think about it because it makes total sense. I'm living proof of that because I was warned about an individual and I chose what I wanted, and that was to find out for myself if this person was the savage that everybody said they were. Whether or not I believe that at this point does not matter. What matters is I made a decision for myself. So the consequences, the outcome of that decision is mine to bear alone. I rock with that. That's what I say is love, baby. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I'm making it. Making it because I know when they say God doesn't give you more than you can handle, I still say that that's not true. But this girl is handling it the best way she can. I'm struggling every day. But I sit down now and I thank God for that little piece of information because yesterday I absolutely made up my mind. When it comes to other people's affairs, when they know right from wrong, I'm going to show them love by minding my business. I have to because at the end of the day, if they lose it all, this they have to fend for themselves. They're going to love me even more for respecting the hustle and grind. I absolutely feel sorry for someone that was in this building because they offered her senior housing and she turned it down. She turned it down for her son who has a substance abuse habit. And when she came to me and we were sitting down talking, I said to her, I said, you can't work forever. And he is a addict. That's it. He made his choices. He knows what he wants. But she couldn't break free because that was her baby. But I kid you not, I saw him a few weeks ago and, hey, Dad, and I'm like, hey, but I haven't seen her. But she, at the time, I think was 74, and she was working in health field, and her portion of the rent now at that time was $900. And at 74, to know that you have to pay $900 to live when you were here paying, you could have just had one person with you. But I don't feel sorry for the person anymore because they made their decision and their decision was what they wanted, and they have their baby with them, and all is well. I had someone say to me a few months ago, you want me to move in with you? I can help you pay your rent. Mm-mm. I absolutely, there was no hesitation. And, I love you. We rock. There was no hesitation. I'm not residing with anyone who has a substance abuse habit of any kind. You may think that is a horrible thing to say, but ask somebody who lives with someone who has a substance abuse habit if that person would pay a bill before they would pay the liquor store or the dealer. That's it. If you can tell me a person with a substance abuse habit that would pay their mortgage first, their rent first, their Wi-Fi first, their electricity first, and then go to the dealer or the liquor store, then you let me know and I will stand corrected. In my personal living of knowledge, from what I know, I don't know anybody with a substance abuse habit that's not going to hit the dealer first or not going to hit the liquor store first. So, in kindness, in love, and in respect, you and I won't we can't reside together, because right now I have $12 in my account. Absolutely. My rent was paid yesterday. My Wi-Fi was paid. I mean, my electricity was paid yesterday. But guess what? I have one more bill that's due, and it's about maybe $5 and change. And that $12 will not leave my account until after that bill is paid. And after they take out for that last bill, the little bit that's left is going to my next month's rent. Absolutely. But this month I paid $15 extra on my rent, just because you don't know what may happen and I may need that little cushion. And I paid maybe $20 extra on my electricity. Why? Because it is January now. And as soon as August comes, this baby right here will be running. I'm not staying in here without no air conditioner. I'm not going to sit down and say I can't afford the air conditioner. Are you damn right I can't afford the air conditioner? So I'm going to cushion my fall by paying $20 extra in January. February, I might try to pay $25 extra. Now, does anyone know about the budget billing? Now, I have the budget billing, but it states that you have this amount here that you pay at the end of the year. I had about, I would say 500 and something in that area. Now I have 219. Why? Because I'm chipping away on that now, because I don't want that at the end of the year. See, budget billing and I are not friends, because that's not a benefit to me. So I don't know what my light bill actually is. My light bill comes out today, which is the 6th. I paid what I paid yesterday, which means I don't know what my bill is. I don't need to know what my bill is. All I need to know is I paid my bill. Now, I do everything I can to conserve my electricity. I don't unplug my microwave. I did it all. Now, this TV I need to unplug because I barely watch it. But I probably pop it on and let my YouTube friends' videos run. But I'm telling you now, we have to stand down. We have to say, okay, this is the decision they have made for whatever reasons, and we have to mind our business. It was painful for me to watch, to listen, to read yesterday in one of the groups where someone ended up evicted because their senior died, and they ended up leaving. But this is something that's happening almost every day now. You're reading about people that are homeless because the senior passed away, and there's a man now in jail because the senior passed away and he kept collecting their check, so. And when I read about that story, I didn't feel bad. I said, because maybe that's what he had to do at the time. But this person was a good 50 plus. So the abuse of the senior was evident in everything. So I'm not going to watch the case. I'm not going to do any of that. It's of no interest to me because we already know the judge is going to hand down the hammer. We already know that because he was abusing the senior. But we have caseworkers, we have senior coalitions, we have everything. If these seniors are not reaching out for these companies to ask for assistance to help them in their households, this is another reason why we need to not be giving them advice. We need not to be helping them make decisions because they already know the decisions. We have to show them love. We have to show them kindness. We have to show them respect by letting them make the choices they want to make and let them make the decisions they want to make. But we have to also respect those same boundaries when the whole ship comes crumbling down because now they're coming for the seniors. So, in kindness, just say you are living with a senior and you know that this situation is going on and you love this senior. You know what you're going to do? You're going to get the hell out of the house. You're going to get out. That's the only option you have. You're going to get out, even if you have to go to the shelter. That's because you love the senior. There's no ifs, ands, or maybes. There's nothing in between. There's no middle. There's no purple, blue, or green. Bottom line, you're leaving. You're not leaving in 6 months. You're not leaving in 2, 3 months. You're leaving ASAP because you know what the senior has to deal with. If you have someone in your home and you are risking everything and that person won't shelter your fall, you're a fool. You're a fool. And I really, really wish I could tell you what you really are. But I'm going to be gentle and kind because I'm building my empire. So I have to. I done made a big thing, and I'm sorry. But don't go into people's affairs and try to make decisions for them. Don't make people make decisions that are hard for them to make. I'm living proof of it. Adulting is hard. Tough love is hard. It's hard for us all. We all have regrets at some point. I don't want to have any regrets. Regrets hold space in your life that you just can't afford. You're paying more for regrets than you are for your roof over your head, boys and girls. We have to remember this. I sit down and cry every day. I was crying a couple hours ago. Message someone because I'm having a hard time, but I am thankful for this platform that I have because you have grounded me, boys and girls. Your support to whatever functions that I deal with, you are my everything. Every time I wear my shirt, whatever the case may be, I am so proud of what I am building because I am building me. This is all me. One of the things that I was upset with a while ago was when I registered my business. I registered under Shays_Creations, and there was a time or two I wish I didn't do that so that I could lean towards something else. And then a couple of days ago, I sat down and realized that Shays_Creations is the best it could ever be because it is absolutely what I didn't realize was going to be the umbrella to everything that I'm trying to do. Every single thing that I have my hands in falls under Shays Creations. So it is a wonderful thing. When I say you don't have to be the best at anything, just be the best at being you. That's it. That's it. I sat down. I tried to watch a few YouTube videos yesterday. My head wasn't there. I couldn't focus. I couldn't listen. I couldn't do all of that. So what I actually did in one of my groups, I saw someone commented about his channel, and he said something in reference to his channel, making it seem like it wasn't the best channel or he didn't have the high hopes, whatever the channel. So I messaged him privately and I said, I saw a statement that you made about your channel. May I have the link? He sent me the link and I just put his videos on. I watched 2 of them and then I just let his videos run. I said, even if he feels a certain way, you know. Now I can't do anything that he did in his videos. He's a mechanic and he does cars, trucks, motors, like the lawnmower type of thing. But I let the video run, and I hope he's getting a paycheck. You know, maybe it has a little interest, a little increase, but I hope I could do that for him. Those are the things I do for people in kindness. In kindness. The other day I saw. I don't know her name, but she was doing one of her children's hair. I think it was in the bathtub and maybe rinsing or something. And for whatever reason at that moment, my head wasn't in a good space, but I popped the video on and let the video roll. So that's what I do to show up for people. So it is what it is. And one thing I do know now that I'm into the whatever, long form videos are what YouTube wants. So if I need a video to be an hour long, I need at least 30 minutes watched on that video. So if I'm building my empire, which I'm building my empire, slow and steady, consistent, I needed an hour long video and I need at least 30 minutes watched on that video. I have, without a shadow of a doubt, at least 4 people that will put my video on from the minute to the very end of the hour, even if they have to come back and watch it in pieces. So it is beneficial to me in the long run. So I do the best I can now to do a long form video. But I want to make sure I'm bringing to the table the same way I want them to bring to the table. That's why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, which is very hard, because when I was in seeing some of these things, the backlash of these seniors that are actually on the street sleeping. I saw a video the other day. This man was walking in the street and there was a person underneath a blanket and he was like, you need anything to drink? And I'm like, I had to erase, I had to let go the video because emotionally it sank in here when I saw the person under a comforter. There is no way I will be able to do that. I don't care what anyone said. If you ever see me laying on a concrete on cover with a blanket over my head, I'm chewing my wrist. That's the only thing I'm doing. So I don't want you to say, oh, I saw Shay under the blanket. She was laying down. No, the fuck she wasn't. She was chewing her wrist. That's what she was doing. She was killing herself, because that's exactly what I would do. I already know how I'm leaving this world. I am the ruler of my own destiny. I know what I can deal with, what I cannot deal with. And that's why I'm struggling now, because I'm really hit rock bottom. Not fully to rock bottom, but emotionally I'm there. Someone is triggering me to do something, and I'm begging, just for a little bit of leeway. But mind your business. Don't go sit at the dining table, sit down with all the yummy meal and say, no, we have to back off, because we all know when we were younger, we had a boyfriend and someone said, oh, he's no good, and we still wanted to be with him because whatever the case may be. And we already know how it is when that man got that goodie stick, when he got that. That's why I tell you, if anybody ever come around me and try to put their mouth on me, you are building a bomb. You're building a bomb. Yesterday, I saw in a group where a wife said that her husband has been having an affair and she's pregnant and he's spending more time with his girlfriend. And I wanted to say so bad, how much more do you need to know? How much more do you need to know? And then I was so proud in another group, this wife said she found out that her husband was having an affair, and how she found out, she did a little bit of investigating on her own. So she said she hasn't said anything to him. She already started working on her divorce. She already secured where she's moving. She's taking all the children with her. She has more than 3, so I had to make sure I said more than 3 to allow for people to know I'm not meaning anyone in specific. So I was proud of her. because she's not making an entrance, a exit. She's not doing any of that. And when she leaves the home, she's leaving when he is not there. But she has confirmed everything on her own. And she said there is no fighting. She says she loves him. She's not arguing with him. She's not fighting with him, but she says she loves herself. She said, so now what she wants to know is how is she supposed to deal when she actually turns to he and she goes in and he's not there. And that made me so proud of her, because whether or not anyone absolutely understands, there comes a time in some people's lives that they don't want the person, they want the body. They want the body. They got used to having someone snoring in the night. They got used to someone's feet on them at night. Those are the things that people don't realize that hooks them. That's why I like sleeping by myself. When I go to bed every night and I look at that little doll baby next to me, I feel so much love. That you would never understand what I would feel. There's a YouTube video I watch, and the lady has a doll baby, and her say she's sitting here, her doll baby is right here. And when I see her video, I absolutely have so much love, when I see that. But I'm sorry for anyone who gets codependent on a person's physical body being present, because I read where someone said, allow yourself to meet someone new just so you can know that there is a chance to meet someone better. I saw that statement yesterday and I let it scroll right up the page. I'm going to tell you something, boys and girls. That may not be your best bet. It may not be your best bet, and I'm going to leave it there. If you see that statement on Facebook, let it ride. Just scroll right up the page. It is not always beneficial to try to meet someone new. That's all I'm going to say. But if you have a kid and they're struggling with this boyfriend or whatever, let them heal it on their own. Let them heal it on their own. If you have a married daughter and she's dealing with, let her heal it on her own. Space heals. Space heals. I kid you not, I am horrified every day knowing that my friend is gonna call me, and I know she knows she's blocked. It breaks me to know that, because I would hate for someone to do that to me. But in truth, there's one person right now I wish he would block me, because I messaged him and I know what he's doing. He's trying to protect himself from a lawsuit. That's it. But I wish he would block me. But what he is doing, I'm fully aware of. But we have to learn that blocking someone is not bad. Blocking someone could be for your benefit as well as for theirs. Not going into someone's home. You could be someone's aunt and you see what, person's letting, mind your business. Not everyone needs a savior. And you don't want to be saving everybody, because at the end of the day, when you come home and you pull off your clothes and fall down on the bed and you just need 5 minutes to just grab yourself. So sometimes we have to take a step back. And now someone that I sit down and say doesn't care because they don't try to help the family and, they, or friend, however, I really now see what they're doing. It has nothing to do with the fact that they don't care. They're letting you live, because you have to hold yourself accountable for some of these things that you're doing to yourself. So we have to. I literally cannot believe that it has taken so long for people to realize where the hustling grind is. And there's a whole lot of hustling grind, And speaking of hustling grind, that church woman that wore that dress a couple days ago, and everybody's talking about that dress, did no one absolutely see the amount of money that they earned? I love God. I believe in religion, but I am not a fool. The church is a business. It's a business. It's absolutely a business. I see firsthand when I go to the flea markets, they are selling the donations. That's how they are at the table selling it for $2. You can buy a pair of Nike sneakers brand new at the flea market I go to for $2 because they got it free from donations for the homeless and everything else. The church is a business, and that is not being facetious in any way, shape, or form. Ask anybody who is absolutely working in the church. The church is a business. That's why it bothers me that there's a person bestowing so many hours of work in the church and not getting a paycheck. The pastor is living a fucking good life on the contributions that's going in the church. You may think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm telling the truth. That is not facetious, and I'm not speaking of one church. I'm speaking of churches. Look at these pastors that start here and then end up here, expanding the church, putting in more pews, putting in a higher altar. The podium is beautiful, their clothing. Where do you think that money is coming from? Where do you think that money is coming from? The congregation. But I'm on the outside, same place you are. On the outside, the church is a hustle and grind. So now, just look at and we have to be honest. Look at what pastors are before they get to the podium. Me, you, taking a course, getting accredited, standing up, doing our job. Doing our job. It is a business. And the other day, someone commented that the problem is not that the person did this, or that. The problem is thinking that a pastor is voided from doing this, and this when that pastor is only a man. So now ask yourself this. Ask any wife, do you think a husband will cheat? I would say 50% will say yes. About 50% will say yes. I may be wrong, but I'm in a lot of groups with husbands and wives, and the amount of husbands and wives who have a work spouse who get their grind in at their job is crazy. Even yesterday, someone mentioned it. He did it anonymously, that he doesn't know what to do because he knows his wife is with the man at the job. That's all you need to know. The decision after that is yours. But you know what a man said to this person is this. I guess this person is paying her. So he said, now that are y'all breaking bread together? Is she helping you with money? Are you able to stash some? Because basically she's using you. So what you need to do is use her right back. Because if you're not and you're staying, then we don't have to go any further. He made it point blank, period, right there. Is she breaking you off? Because if she's not, and then yesterday another person commented, his person was living in such a decent life, going to school, doing those, and not doing anything wrong. And then he went through her phone, and now she has something called emergency fans or something fans. I don't know what it is. Something fans, and he doesn't know what to do. So someone else said to him, Is she giving you some of the money because she's a prostitute or something like that? I don't know. OnlyFans, is it? So, I'm not in that stuff, so I don't know. But I may be having to get me an account if I hear they paying bills over there. But I want that money. Ah! But anyway, I'm looking and reading, and I'm like, and the man said, point out, your woman is a prostitute. Is she sharing the money? So I said to him, I said, now that you know, all you have to do is sit down with her, look her in her eye, ask her, is all of this about the money or is it about the bills? If she's, no, is it about the money or is it because she likes it? I said, don't move your face. Look right in her face when she answers. If she answers you without a shadow of a doubt that it's about the money, then baby, you need to be grinding with her. I said, but if you're trying to have children with her, then you need to think about that, because that could pop up at the dining table when you having dinner with the family years from now. So we have to be mindful. But another person chimed in and said, about this person that they were with that was doing something that wasn't so, and the person said, as long as you're not bringing children into the family, then if this is what this person is doing and you're okay with the money, then you stay and you make sure you using the person like they're using you. But I was so thankful to see that it said when you bringing in children, because that's one of my issues as well. When you are a leader in the family and you don't care about what you're bringing to the child, you understand. Yesterday, when one of my struggles was, I don't want my daughter to know what I'm dealing with, although I know she would try to help me the best way she can, but she can't help me because my situation is completely none of her concern. So I thank God I have been able to manage keeping her, from that. She does know recently I did something that I had to do. I put her to the computer and I showed her, but after that, she doesn't know anything else. At 31 years old, to know that I kept some of that, I have to say I'm proud of myself for that. Now I'm going to explain something else to you. This has nothing to do with relations or anything like that. I have learned a lot about YouTube. Long form is where the money is. No, I don't have any money on YouTube. Yes, I'm getting my bag on YouTube. Long form videos are what's needed, which means you need to be building at least an hour on your videos. You need at least 30 of those minutes to be watched. If less than 30 minutes of those videos are watched, your metrics are not going to go where they need to go. Now, I'm not 100% sure yet because I don't have the bag, but I can promise you that I am leaning on gold because I'm getting the bag. But I want to remind you all that I respect every one of you who are helping me build my foundation. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that DNA does not make you family. DNA makes you blood connected to a person. And I can promise you that because a whole lot of my DNA will never offer me a plate, will never offer me a seat at the table, and I love you all. There is no malice in me at all. I absolutely love everyone, and I love people who show me where I am, where I stand in their life. So you have no hate in me from anyone, absolutely any of them. I already said yesterday in one of my videos that my next freebie is going to be a crisp $100 bill. I'm going to get it from the bank and I'm going to put it in an envelope and I'm going to seal it and I'm going to mail it to someone. Now there's an address or two that I don't have. I promise you that. I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm in this room alone predominantly, so it's not like your address is exposed to people, so I don't think that. But Beverly's address is right there. Someone else's address is underneath that piece of paper there. Let me see, did I put... April's address is right here. And there's a woman that purchased from me on eBay. Her name is Haley Dennis. I don't believe she ever watched my videos, but she's on my list of kindness, and she's on my list of kindness because she showed me kindness on eBay. So I have her address here in my book. Now, there is a person on YouTube that sent me their address in email. I lost the email, and I don't know the name to dig back in there to get the address in email. Just letting you know. So you would definitely be someone I would want to put into my kindness book. You are very kind with your comments, and there are some times when I have really been in a situation where you have shown me kindness by the kindness that you say, That's why I say kindness is free. I do hold on that. I need to also make a book for with these addresses, because if my books become residual income, passive income, and I'm no longer around, I want my daughter to be able to to continue my kindness venture with these people. So because my videos are still going to be there, and I'm going to tell you something else I learned. Um, when it comes to Facebook, Facebook is going to give you the gold, but Facebook is not going to keep giving you the gold. Your equity is built with Facebook, I mean, with YouTube, before it is built with Facebook. Your instant gratification is Facebook. Your longevity is with YouTube. Now, you may say, she doesn't get paid, so how does she know? That's my business. I'm a grinder. I know. So I'm grinding on Facebook, but Facebook, I'm doing my normal activities on Facebook. I do know where the gravy is now. I'm pending there. Beverly is with me there. She just doesn't know how. But Beverly, you are there with me. You just don't know how. Unfortunately, I'm unable to tell you. And the reason why I'm not able to tell you is because of some of the things you have literally said that other people were offended by. And I don't think anything you said to me was facetious or anything, but I need to make sure that while I am building my equity, I'm not giving out all my secrets. The reason why is because a lot of people say don't gatekeep, but ask yourself this: does Walmart gatekeep? Does Amazon gatekeep? Does Target gatekeep? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I, the little person here, have given you some information that people would charge for. Absolutely. Now, I already know I could monetize my Facebook, which I did. I already know I could do that subscription thing, and I would really be good there because I have a lot of information and stuff like that. I tell, I teach, I do it all. It is just who I am. I don't want the subscription. I don't want the subscription. I don't want the subscription, even though I need the money, because I feel as long as I am giving my community whatever it is I feel that they deserve, they're going to show up for me. If they show up for me enough for me to earn, if I don't want to be greedy, which I don't want to be greedy, because greed comes with something that I don't want attached to me. Absolutely not, because my mind, my soul, and my spirit is built on kindness, which means that is my blessing, where my industry comes from and my everything. That's why I say I'm anointed, regardless if my delivery is the delivery that you expect. Because when you see someone at the podium, God, ah, that's what moves you in church. But when that person gets off that podium and they're living in the filthy sandbox, that's not what you really need. What you really need, but I kid you not, I don't know where my head was a few weeks ago. I absolutely put myself in a situation that I would normally never ever do. That's how I know that I wasn't of my wellness. And I literally put myself in a position that I could possibly suffer from what I did. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't know what the was what I don't know where my head was, but I was dealing with trauma. Anyone who knows, but I did something that I didn't even realize I did until this morning when I was in my kitchen. I'm like, how did I? And I'm like, oh, and I absolutely wish I could tell someone, because I'm going to suffer a great deal in silence because of a connection that I made. And I know that, and I don't want that on my channel or nothing. So I'm taking care of what I have to take care of, but I didn't realize I did something to myself until I was in the kitchen making this cup of chamomile tea. Mm. But I'm making sure I take care of what I did. But I give no regrets, and I have no regrets because at that moment I needed a connection to remove me from something. So the goodness is it is definitely on YouTube. Whether anyone knows it or not, it's on YouTube. So I have documentation. That's the good thing. But I need everybody to know that I am okay. I am struggling desperately, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling with self-harm. But every day I shower at 6 a.m. to the best of my ability. It is now 5:19, and I'm sitting here sweating, got water on my head, and my neck is all wet. But for the last few days, 6 o'clock in the morning, I didn't have no hot water. I was taking my shower like maybe 9, 10, because I can't take a cold shower. I can't do it, boys and girls. On my stomach, the cold water on my stomach is horrible. I need the water boiling. I need it to be like it's a cup of tea hot on my chest. Now my back, I can't take hot water on my back. My back is sensitive. But I kid you not, I know. Now, let me say something. I'm going to say something, and it's going to be TMI. So I'm going to give you a second or two to get out the room, because right now this is going to be TMI. This is the grown folks in here now, boys and girls. I kid you not. So I'm just running my mouth. I'm giving you time to get out. Cut the video off. Bye. See you later. Get going. Get missing. Get out of here. Okay. I don't know what happened when my mother gave birth to me. I blame my mother for everything. Claudine, all of this is your fault. Now, I know one person knows this. No more than one person knows this, but I'm kind of thirsty. No one knows this, but I'm going to tell you. Right here, on my soaking wet head. Woo. Woo. Lord have mercy. Right here on my head, when I get in the shower, that water that hits a certain way right here triggers a feeling in my body that does not have anything to do with a shower. So I kid you not, I am a danger to my own self taking a shower, because when the water, and the reason why I say one person knows is because a long time ago I was in a shower with someone and the water hit me there. And the reaction from the water hitting me there was like, wow. And I couldn't believe I had completely not, because this wasn't something that, it wasn't planned. It was spontaneous, which was beautiful. But when the person saw the reaction from the water on my head, his reaction was crazy. But I don't even think, I'm not going to go any further. But anyway, this right here triggers my whole body in a sexual way. So when I say I don't actually need a man, I don't. Between my batteries in that room with that rose, that electricity, and this right here, my head goes somewhere. But there are times when I get in the shower that when I'm in the shower to have my spiritual time with the Lord, I'm in there praying, I'm in there asking God to help me with this, I'm in there asking God to watch over people that I love, and especially those who have harmed me. I'm asking God to please make sure I'm alive when karma hits them. I ask every day, and I'm specific in my prayers, because I've learned you have to be specific when you pray. You have to call out a name if you have to, but there are times that I'm in there. So when I am in there, I have to stand with the water here, have my water here, scrub up my head and everything while I'm doing my prayer. But then I be in the shower. Sometimes the spirit just hits me and I'm in there and I'm singing up, and it's like I'm having my own church service. And it is a lot of the time, it is in my shower time. So I value my me time in my shower. But I turn this way to get to my back and rinse off, because I can actually wash my whole back. I don't know if you can, but I can. So I turn around, but then the water, and I'm like, ugh, and I'm in, and I'm going, and I'm like, I gotta hold on to the bar, and I'm like, because the water right there, and I don't know what it is. That's not the only thing. Q-tips. When I was younger, I never knew it, but I would clean my ear with the Q-tip, and then the Q-tip would get me a certain way. And my mother used to look at me, and then I remember one time she said something. I still don't remember, so I have to ask the lady today, what did she say? Because she said something, but it makes me laugh. But I have a whole thing, 1, 2, 3, about 4 little drawers right there with some Q-tips. If I was to take my Q-tip and stick it in my ear, then you would be like, oh, she was telling the truth. But not only that, I went to get a pedicure one time, and the man, my foot was in the thing, and the man was like, just punching my leg right here. I kid you not, and I just went bonkers, and everybody was in there, and my daughter was in there. My daughter was in there, and everybody was in there, and my daughter said, I am never taking you anywhere. It was so, and that was my last pedicure, because I never knew my body is sensitive. But I'm going to tell you something. You might see me struggling in this chair, but this part of my body is hard to fit into a chair. I have to keep shifting because this part of my body is so big. But anyway, I kid you not, I was talking to someone on the phone recently, and the person mentioned dealing with someone that has a mental health illness, and that their sex drive, or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't realize, but even a person who's nonverbal still has their insides and still has whatever, That's why I say I am so thankful I only have one kid, because if I had a child that was of a certain way, it would be torture to me as a parent. And the reason why I say that is because of a person that I know who has a male person who's nonverbal. They know the person's needs based on what the person does with their own body. And as a parent, it is hard to know that this person is struggling because they need something. And just because their mind is shut down to a certain level doesn't mean that their body is. That's why I say, no matter who is connected to you, everybody needs a rose. I kid you not. Everybody needs a rose, because everybody, if you go to the doctor, I went to about 6 doctors asking them to prescribe me a medicine that would take away my sex drive. If it would take away my sex drive, then I would have the life that I want to live, because I don't want sex in my life anymore. I haven't wanted it before I was 50. So what I'm going through now actually hit me hard, because I dealt with things that I would normally not even want in my life. And for the strength of trying to live and be included in whatever. But everyone needs a rose. You have an old lady, give them a rose, especially if they can reach it, if they can reach the cookie. But if they can't reach the cookie, don't bother, because it's going to be a struggle trying to get to the gold with a rose. So it is what it is. And if you come in my house and this is missing, that's all I'm telling you. You come to my house and this is missing, that's all I'm gonna say. That's it. Point blank, period. I'm putting it right back here, and I know where my stuff is. You come here, that's missing right there. I'm tired of playing nice, so I'm going to bid you farewell. I'm going to thank you for allowing me to come into your home. I only wish that I could make you laugh like you make me laugh, because I'm here by myself and I just finished laughing. I needed to laugh. But I also need to put on some videos. I make it a point of duty to support my YouTubers. So I need to take my shower and hopefully some hot water in 30 minutes, because if it's not, the girl is not getting the shower. Now what I will do is turn that water on, get me a cup, throw it in the microwave, plug up my sink, and take a little wash up until I shower, not on my back. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I love you all. Bye bye.